We live in an I'll get to it later world. I owe you a phone call. I'll get to it later. I need to clean the dishes and fold the laundry. I'll get to it later. I have that work project I need to finish up or that exam I need to study for. I will get to it later. Last night, my I'll get to it later really came to the fore. As you can see, I have a chicken coop here in my backyard with 4 wonderful chickens. If you don't mind, I'm going to take a moment and let them out so they can kind of free range and have some grass time. And so I have this wonderful chicken coop here with my 4 delightful chickens. And for the most part, we have this great wire fencing all around the coop and at the top of the roof as well. A little part of the fencing didn't quite make it to this side, where we have some bird netting instead. And the way it normally works is every single night my chickens go into this secure coop in the evening. It's an automatic door which closes, and that way they are safe from predators through the evening. Every once in a while, certainly over the summer months, my chickens have actually not quite gone into the coop part at night, and instead they just kind of hang out on the top of the coop. It's beautiful weather. They enjoy doing that. So in the evening, I carry them, and I put them in the coop for the night. I have been meaning to secure the rest of the chicken coop with the chicken wire instead of the bird netting, and it hasn't really been an issue because the chickens are inside the coop at night where they are safe from predators. It just so happened that last night I was in the middle of working and I just needed a break. I knew I had a couple of errands that I needed to run, so I decided around 8:15 at night to hop in my car, go do a couple of errands, and when I did, I saw that 3 of my 4 chickens were standing on top of the coop, so I carried them, I put them in the coop, went and did my errands. Came back about a half an hour later to find inside the coop was a raccoon that had clearly climbed up here and clawed through the netting. This was just such a horrible, I'll get to it later moment, because had I not on a whim decided to go run a couple of errands last night, the raccoon would have gotten in there early, when usually the predators here come out middle of the night or at dusk, and the chickens would have been unable to get into shelter or to defend themselves. So yes, I have a project today and tomorrow, which is sealing up that chicken coop. I share all of this, I'll get to it later moment, because this is something that we carry with us throughout the entire year, especially in and around the high holidays. We know from last year's high holidays, there are things that we want to work on, things that we want to do, things that we believe we can do better in the year ahead that we want to work on. We know there are apologies that we have to offer to people, things that we blew, things that we know that we could do better that we need to work on. And yet throughout the days and weeks and months, we've pushed it aside. I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later. We're now about 2 weeks away from Rosh Hashanah, from the high holidays. And sometimes we need that reminder of getting to it now. For me, it was nearly tremendous chicken loss and pain. They're chickens, they give eggs, but they're also my pets, with the I'll get to it later for the chicken coop. And for us leading up to the high holidays, we have the shofar. The sound of the shofar, the calling of the shofar is here to remind us that later isn't later, but it is right now. The work of teshuvah, the work of apologizing, the work of bettering ourselves in preparation for the new year is an urgent call to action right now. And so we hear the sound of the shofar to remind us that it's not about getting to something later, it's about doing our teshuvah and our self-improvement right now. Shana Tova.